We are at war in America. It is not like past wars in America with armies and military weapons, but it is a war nonetheless. It is a worldview war of values and ideas that fight for the very soul of America. And right now, the battleground surrounds Brett Kavanaugh. For the past few weeks, we have been exposed to this war during the Senate confirmation hearings of Judge Brett Kavanaugh, President Trump's conservative constitutionalist pick for the Supreme Court. What was supposed to be an adult conversation and debate about judicial philosophy and methodology has turned into a juvenile three-ring circus with Democrat clowns and acrobats distorting the normalcy of legitimate constitutional deliberation. In fact, late-night host and former star of The Man Show, Jimmy Kimmel, made fun of the fact that Brett Kavanaugh admitted to being a virgin in high school and then attempted to make an obscene joke about cutting off Brett Kavanaugh's, well, take a look.
Kavanaugh gets confirmed to the Supreme Court. Okay. Well, in return, we get to cut that pesky penis of his off.
By now, we all know about the last-minute charge by Democrat leaders of Dr. Ford's alleged, uncorroborated, and unsubstantiated sexual harassment by Brett Kavanaugh. We also know that all four people that Dr. Ford claimed witnessed the attempted sexual assault against her deny it ever happened. And we have just recently learned of another even more bizarre allegation of sexual misconduct where a drunk Deborah Ramirez with partial foggy memory says she cannot be certain Brett Kavanaugh was the male that exposed himself at a drunken Yale party. Deborah Ramirez not only has no witnesses that Kavanaugh was ever at the booze party at Yale, but there is not one person who could be found to corroborate Ramirez's claims, which she admits she cannot be certain that her memory was correct about Kavanaugh. Instead of going to the police and the proper legal channels for administering justice, these Democrat accusers and Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee have created a theater of the absurd, where in collusion with the radical left, they will go to any extreme to keep any conservative nominee off the Supreme Court. Hawaii's pro-abortion Democrat, Senator Mazie Hirono, who is on the Senate Judiciary Committee, believes that Brett Kavanaugh is probably guilty of sexual assault because he might overturn Roe v. Wade. This is the crux of the matter. It's the reason for the left's vicious worldview war on conservatism and Christianity. Brett Kavanaugh is guilty of being a pro-life, conservative, Catholic white man culpable in the minds of the social justice left-wing warriors of oppressing women and minorities. Gone is the idea that authentic justice requires equality before the law based on evidence, not unsubstantiated allegations birthed in left-wing political expediency. Americans of both parties, Republicans, Democrats, and independents too, ought to be outraged by this display of Stalinistic show trial chicanery. Now, can you imagine future Senate hearings where judicial process and justice are ignored when allegations upon allegations are thrown about like cheap beer at a college frat party? God forbid that ever happens in the future. What we have seen at the Senate Judiciary hearings has been a high-tech lynching by uppity, arrogant, power-hungry feminists, leftists, and Democrats who don't give a rat's ass about justice. They simply want to destroy Kavanaugh because a white male, heterosexual, pro-life conservative Christian, he and those like him, stand in the way of their licentious leftism. My fellow Americans, will we allow this postmodern disease to destroy justice and our constitutional republic under God? Will we fight the lies of the left? Do we love America enough to stop this outrage? I pray so. I'm Dr. Jake Jacobs, and we'll see you next time on One Nation.